And we are live.
We are live. Excellent. And we managed to come online on time as well. Woo! Sorry, I didn't think we were going to manage that today. We've had people on and off the Zoom. Internet's been playing up. Anyway, hello. It's so brilliant to be back on a Sunday afternoon doing scenes for you all. As you can see, we have a small but incredibly select crowd to do our 3 o'clock sitting of scenes for you. We have an equivalently small group at 5 o'clock as well, but a whole different lot of scenes, and it's going to be fun. So let us just say a quick hello to those of us on those who've got on the screen. Just say, oh, Dewi's vanished. Hopefully he's coming back. Oh, there he is. Just so these guys can then go and sort themselves out. So we've got Larissa, who's back with us today, recovered from King Henrying and having a little break, doing some other things. Lovely to have you, Larissa. We've got Siegffried, who is, I believe, joining us from Paris for the last time, because Siegfried's moving back to London, which is very exciting for him and for us. So yes, I don't know if it'll still be Northern Lights when he's back in London or what will happen then. Dewi is clearly here. He's back. He's in the room next to me, so I always know where he is. And the lovely Linda is with us today, which is absolutely gorgeous. Always fabulous to have you. So we've got 4 players who are going to be working very hard. So off you go, guys, to the virtual tiring house. That means turn off your camera and wait until I call you back on. Right, they've already got, that was quick. So those of you who are watching, if you've watched us before, I'm really sorry, but you know what's coming. If you haven't watched us before, then hello, thank you for joining us. My name is Lizzie. I am the artistic director for ShakeScene Shakespeare. We are currently the only UK-based theatre company who both act and teach using cues only. Cued parts of this, the term is for them, or the one that I'm being encouraged to use. So what does that mean? That means that the people that you've just seen on screen are going to be performing 4 scenes for you today. Yes, we've got 4 people in 4 scenes. Everybody's in every scene. We've never done that before. Be prepared for me to chat a little bit more in between scenes, just so they've got time to change if they want to. But nobody has rehearsed together for these scenes. They have all received their lines, they've seen their lines and their cues, they know what they have to do and when they have to come on and do it. But what they don't know is exactly who's going to say what to them in between times. They don't know who's going to give them their cue, and they don't know what it's going to sound like. So that is what we do, and how we do it. Why we do it is because that is how the original professional players of the Renaissance, Shakespeare's time, actually prepared and performed. There were undoubtedly some full group rehearsals or partial cast rehearsals of plays or parts of plays. There was nothing like the extended rehearsal process that we expect and understand today. And it's a difficult thing, but as an actor, then it's sort of, there is an enormous difference between even just having a week working in a room with a director and a whole script and a whole cast, because that's how plays were done during the weekly reps and the regional reps sort of seasons. There is a world of difference between that and maybe getting a half a day to run through a play once and then a week or 2 later performing it, but in between times performing up to sort of 7, 8 or even 9 different plays, because that's how it worked in Shakespeare's time. So it's something that I'm still working on, but there's no way. Okay, it is not the same, just take it from us. But what these guys are going to do is create theatre for you in the moment on screen, which is going to be quite interesting, I hope. As ever, you will see on our YouTube page there is our donations link. If you are able to give us a donation, we will be extremely grateful. We are all still currently providing our sort of theatre services for free. No one's getting paid. Although I'm just trailing this now. I did mention it once before, but we are in the process of setting ourselves up on Patreon or Patreon. No, I'm not quite sure how one says it. Which will mean that those of you watching who have been sort of interested in us as a company, you've got the opportunity to get much more involved with us and support us in various ways, which will be very exciting once we get them sorted out. But it does mean that things are going to change and our performances will at some point be ticketed. So we ask you to bear with us while we sort that out. There will be lots of information coming your way. In the meantime, please make the most of us while we're free and while our gallery is free and everything else is there. So more information on that as and when we have it. So that's quite enough of me talking. We've got 4 scenes to get through. We have a theme for our 3 o'clock session today, and the theme is pranks. Because I just felt that it was time, we need to have some fun. We need to set each other up. We're very serious in the full-length plays that we're doing at the moment because we're still working through the history plays. And it's like, do you know what? Let's just have some fun. Let's prank each other. Let's hide unconvincingly behind pot plants because that's always fun. So we've got, starting with 2 scenes from Much Ado About Nothing, which is one of the latest plays we did back in July, I think it was. We've got one from Twelfth Night, always a favourite, and another one from Henry the Fourth. Get your Henrys right. Henry the Fourth, Part 1. So there's going to be a lot of fun and silliness for the next hour. Okay, so everybody's in the first scene. So can I just check, Linda, Larissa, Dewi, Siegffried, are you all ready to be Don Pedro, Claudio, Benedict, and Leonato?
Ready?
Yes.
Everybody's ready. So just let me get you go, because I'm going to be here book scripting as usual. This means I will be watching the script in case of internet hiccups or script hiccups or anything else that happens, because that's my job as the book holder. So Much Ado About Nothing. Very, very quick rundown because we're going into the story partway through. We are in the house of Leonato, which we think is probably somewhere in Italy. Very nice place. In his house are staying the soldiers led by Don Pedro, who is like the greatest man in this mildly fictional area of Italy called Messina. And one of Don Pedro's soldiers, Claudio, has just got engaged to Leonato's daughter, Hero, which is lovely. But in order to pass the time before the wedding, the soldiers and the other people in Leonato's family have decided to play a bit of it is a prank, but it's a well-meaning prank on another of the soldiers, Benedict, and Leonato's niece, Beatrice. Why are they doing this? Because Benedict and Beatrice, at some point before this play, there's a story we don't see, but at some point before this play, they were in love. They had a relationship of some sort, and they've had some kind of falling out. And at the moment, they are pretty much at daggers drawn whenever they meet. And their friends have decided that they're going to help Benedict and Beatrice to fall back in love. And this is how basically the boys are going to help Benedict. So that's the first part of the story that we're going to see. Okay, everybody, are you ready?
Ready.
Ready.
Right. So as soon as I am gone, the stage is yours. Have yourself some fun.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviours to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him, but the drum and the fife, and now he had rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would have walked 10 mile afoot to see a good armour, and now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier, and now is he turned orthography. His very words are a fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell, I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster, but I'll take my oath on't. Till he have made an oyster of me, He shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what colour it please God. The prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbour.
See you where Benedick hath hid himself?
Oh, very well, my lord.
Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedick?
Mm-hmm. Oh, aye, stalk on, the foul fits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should dote on Signor Benedick, whom she hath in all outward behaviours seem ever to abhor.
Is't possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Fair, like enough.
Oh, God, counterfeit? There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
The hook swell, the fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you heard my daughter tell you. How?
She did indeed.
How, I pray you, you amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedick.
I should think this a gull, but that the goatee-bearded fellow with the glasses speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide himself in such reverence.
He hath ta'en the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedick?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed. So your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she now when she is beginning to write to him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smoke till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper, I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Of when she had read it and was reading it over, she found Benedick and Beatrice between the sheets.
That.
Or she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me. Though I love him, I should.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, praise, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience.
He doth indeed, my daughter says so, and the ecstasy hath so much overborne her that my daughter is sometime feared she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
What end? He would make sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should. It were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent, sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything, but in loving Benedict.
Oh, my lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body. We have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory. I'm sorry for her, as I have just cause, being her uncle and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her my half myself. I pray you, tell Benedict of it, and hear what he will say.
Were it good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die if he loves her not, and she will die ere she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her, rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well, if she should make tender of her love. 'Tis very possible he'll scorn it, for the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
For God, and in my mind very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
As Hector, I assure you, and in the managing of quarrels, you may see he is wise, for either he avoids them with great discretion, or undertakes them with a Christian-like fear.
If he do fear God, must necessarily keep peace. If he break the peace, he ought to enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
And so will he do, for the man doth fear God, howsoever it seems not in him, by some large jests he will make. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go see Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
No, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it be cool a while. I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy to have so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. The sport will be, when they hold one an opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. That's the scene that I would see, which will be merely a dumb show. Let us send her to call him into dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have the full bent. Love me? Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly. If I perceive the love come from her, they say too that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth. I can bear them witness, and virtuous. 'Tis so. I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly. For I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humour? No. The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure then in the message?
Yeah, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a door withal. You have no stomach, Signor. Fare you well.
Against my will, I am bid you come in to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. Well, that's as much as to say, any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity of her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am a fool. I will go get her picture.
Off he goes, hook, line, and sinkered. Well done to the guys fooling Benedict. He has been well and truly pranked. So prank number 1 has been achieved, and we're going on to prank number 2 in scene number 2, which is still from Much Ado About Nothing. And now we're going to prank Beatrice in the exact same way that we just pranked Benedict. So you heard them set it up in that first scene, because in a way, like the menfolk of the house have set up Benedict. This is really not that sort of, should we say, equable in many respects, but at least the women get a go as well. And we're now going to have Hero and her 2 serving women, Margaret and Ursula, who are going to set up a similar prank discourse, something for Beatrice. So again, we have all the same actors appearing. So can you just pop your mics off and tell me if you're all ready? Because if I was actually backstage with these guys, I would know, but hey, the joys of Zoom, can't quite tell. Are we ready to go on?
Ready.
Ready.
Okay, Linda, you ready too? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Ready.
Okay, awesome. Lovely. Right, so let's prank Beatrice. Okay, guys, have fun.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlour. There thou shalt find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the Prince and Claudio. Now whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her steal into the pleached bower, where horny suckles ripened by the sun forbid the sun to enter, like favourites made proud by princes that advance their pride. against that power that bred it. There will she hide her, to listen to our purpose. That is thy office. Bear thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I'll make her come, I warrant you presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow-made, that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin. For look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs close by the ground to hear our conference.
The pleasant angling is as if the fish cut with her golden oars the silver stream and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice, who even now is couched in the woodbine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then go we near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
Are you sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new betrothed lord.
And did they bid you? You tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedick, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not a gentleman deserve as full as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love! I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature's never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape, nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so, and therefore certainly it were not good. She knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw man. How wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured. But she would spell him backward, if fair-faced. She would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If tall, a launce ill-headed. If low, an agot very wildly cut. If speaking, why, a fane blown with all winds. If silent, why, a block moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchases.
Sure, such carving is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd, and from all fashions as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. And therefore, let Benedick, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly, if were a better death, to die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passion. And truly I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is right to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
He is the only man of Italy, always accepted, my dear Claudio.
I pray you be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy, Signor Benedict Fauchet, for bearing argument and valour goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow, come, go in. I'll show thee some attires, and have thy counsel, which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's ta'en, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it prove so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, and some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on, I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our love up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it is better than reportingly.
Yes, it worked. So that's the last of our bits of Much Ado for this sitting. We are going to be doing a couple more bits from Much Ado in our 5 o'clock session, if you're able to join us then. Otherwise, you are and you want to know what happens next, then you can always drop in on the full version, which is still up on our gallery. Or basically, you can read the play, you can see the amazing film, you can do whatever you like. It's there, the story is around, but it's one that I just love that. I do think it's so much fun. So thank you very much, everybody, for our first 2 scenes from Much Ado. Now we've got 2 more. Everybody's still in them, and even I'm in the next one. Hey, aren't we all lucky? Just briefly, because sometimes you can cheat it and sometimes you can't. And we just thought that this is such a good scene to get in with the pranks, because this is the bit of 12th Night, during which a major prank is set up and played on the steward Malvolio. So, to fill in a bit of story, Malvolio works for the Lady Olivia, the most beautiful and powerful lady in the country of Illyria. She is deeply in mourning for her brother and her father, recently dead, and rejecting the advances of Duke Orsino. And within her household, because she is given over to mourning, everything has become very quiet, very almost grim. There is no drinking, there is no dancing, there is not the joyfulness that used to be there. This has been suiting Monsieur Malvolio extremely well, because he likes things quiet and he likes people well behaved, and he likes being in a position of comparative power. He also moderately fancies his chances with Olivia. Now, the trouble is that his wishes are not those of others living in this household. We have Lady Olivia's cousin, Sir Toby Belch, who pretty much, it goes with his name, is a guy that enjoys eating and drinking and all good times. And he has with him his good friend, Sir Andrew Aguecheek, who has been courting Olivia, or trying to. But they have fallen foul of Malvolio, as has her servant, Maria. And they have been threatened with being sacked and cast out of the house, and they're not happy about this. So a plot has been hatched, into which they have included Lady Olivia's fool, Feste. And so here we go into the garden of the house of the Lady Olivia to see what mischief something as simple as a letter might be able to create. So can I just check? Are we ready? We need Sir Toby, Sir Andrew, and Feste ready to come on. Malvolio, wait for your cue.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay. So, as I said, you're going to be seeing me as a player shortly, but for the moment, I hand the screen over to the players. Enjoy, and let's see how this particular prank goes. Have fun, guys.
Come thy way, Signor Feste.
Oh, come. If I lose a scruple of this sport, let me be boiled to death with Boris and Trump in a sprinkle of May.
Oh, wouldst thou not be glad to have the niggardly rascally sheep batter come by some notable shame?
I would exult, man. You know, he brought me out of favour with my lady.
And we will fool him black and blue. Shall we not, Sir Andrew?
And we do not. It is pity of our lives.
Oh, here comes the little villain. How now, my metal of India?
Get you all three into the box tree. Malvolio's coming down this walk. He's been yonder in the sun, practicing behaviours to his own shadow this half hour. Observe him for the love of mockery, for I know this letter will make a contemplative idiot of him. Close, in the name of jesting. Oh, look, lie thou there, for here comes the trout that must be caught with tickling.
Oh, here's an overweening rogue.
Slider could so beat the rogue.
Peace, I say.
To be
Peace.
Count Malvolio.
Ah, rogue.
Pistol him! Pistol him!
Peace.
There is an example for it. Prince Harry married Meghan. The lady of the Strachey married the yeoman of the wardrobe.
Fie on him! Jezebel!
Now he's deeply in. Look how imagination blows him.
Having been 3 months married to her, sitting in my state,
Oh, for a stone bow to hit him in the eye.
pulling my officers about me in my brunched velvet gown, having some come from a day beds where I have left Olivia sleeping.
Fire and brimstone.
And after a demure travail of regards, telling them I know my place, as I would, they should do theirs, to ask for my kinsman, Toby. Ugh.
Shackles.
Peace, now.
7 of my people, with an obedient start, make out for him. Toby approaches. A cut is there to me.
Oh, shall this fellow live?
Though our silence be drawn from us with cards, yet peace.
I extend my hand to him thus, quenching my familiar smile with an austere regard of control.
And does not Toby take you a blow of the lips then?
Saying, cousin Toby, my fortune having cast me on your knees, give me this prerogative of your speech.
What?
You must amend your drunkenness.
Out, scab. Oh.
Patience, or we break the sinews of our plot.
Besides, you waste the treasure of your time with a foolish knight.
That's me. I warrant you.
One Sir Andrew.
I knew 'twas I, for many do call me fool.
What employments have we here?
Out with the woodcock near the gin.
Oh, peace and the spirit of humour's intimate, reading aloud to him.
By my life, this is my lady's hand. This be her very C's, her V's and her T's, and thus makes she her great P's.
Her C's, her U's, and her T's. Why that?
To the unknown, beloved, this, and my good wishes are very phrases. To whom should this be?
Oh, this wings him, liver and all.
Jove knows I love, but who lips do not move. No man must know. No man must know. No man must know. What follows? No man must know. If this should be thee, Malvolio.
Harry, hang thee, Brock.
I may command where I adore, but silence like a lucrous knife. With bloodless stroke my head doth gore, MOAI doth weigh my life.
Oh, fustian riddle.
Excellent wench, I say.
MOAI doth weigh my life. Hey, but first, let me see. Let me see.
What dish of poison has she dressed him?
I may command where I adore. She may command me. I serve her. She is my lady. What should that alphabetical position portend if I could make that resemble something in me? Softly. MOAI.
Oh, I make up that.
M. Well, that begins my name.
Did not I say he would work it out?
M, but there is no consistency within the sequel. A should follow, but O does.
And O shall end it, I hope.
Aye, or I'll cudgel him and make him cry, oh.
And then I comes behind. MOAI, crush this a little. It would be bowed to me, for every one of these letters are in my name. Soft, here, follow prose. If this fall into thy hand, resolve in my star I am above thee, but be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Remember who commanded thy yellow stockings and wished to see thee ever cross-gartered. I say remember. Go to, thou art made if thou desirest to be. If not, let me see thee a steward still. Farewell. This is open. I do not fool myself to let imagination jade me. For every reason, excite to this, that lady loves me. She did command my yellow stockings of late. She did praise my leg being cross-gartered. And in this, she manifests herself to my love. And the kind injunction drives me to this habits of her liking. The stars I'm happy. I'm happy. I will be in the yellow stockings and cross-gartered, even with the swiftness of pudding and Jove, and my star be praised. Here is just a postscript. Thou canst not choose but know who I am. If thou entertainst my love, let it appear in thy smiling. Thy smiles become thee well. Smile. Therefore, in my presence, still smile. Dear to my sweet, I prithee, Jove, I thank thee. I will smile. I will do everything that thou wilt have me.
I will not give my part of this sport for a pension of thousands.
I could marry this wench for this device.
So can I too.
And ask no other dowry with her, but such another jest.
Nor I neither.
Oh, here comes my noble gold catcher.
Shall I play my freedom and a trade trip and become thy bond slave?
If faith in it, or I either.
Why, thou hast put him in such a dream, that when the image of it leaves him, he must run mad.
Hey, but say true. Does it work upon him?
Like aqua vitae with a midwife.
Oh! If you will then see the fruits of this sport, mark his first approach before my lady. He will come to her in yellow stockings, as is a colour she abhors, and cross-gartered, a fashion she detests, and he will smile upon her, which will now be so unsuitable to her disposition of being addicted to melancholy as she is, that it cannot but turn him into a notable contempt. If you will see it, follow me.
To the gates of Tartar, thou most excellent devil of wit.
I'll make one too.
Okay, right, well, that was thoroughly naughty. As pranks go, I think we will agree that that's a slightly less good-natured one, but it's important to see how different people behave in different circumstances. And it's also interesting, you know, the people of the household, they felt attacked, so what did they do? They attacked back. Woo! And it's fun. Anyway, so that's one of our favourite bits of Twelfth Night, which is always such a lot of fun to do that scene. Again, if you want to know the rest of the story, then please drop by our gallery. You'll find our 12th night, which we did for Christmas, I think. So December 2020, as if I could forget what year it is. So, right, one more scene for this group, and then we will be taking a bit of a break until 5 o'clock, and we're coming back with more people and more scenes. So we've got one more prank to play, and again, this is another one of those pranks where it's debatable as to exactly how friendly this prank is. However, it's a little bit of human nature, and that's what Shakespeare is all about, observing human nature and provoking a response from those of us who watch what other people do. I have it's one of my theories that when you watch a play where you see, or you see a film or anything where you see an evidence of what to you is bad behavior or is poor choices, or in some ways like, no, that's good. So then that's interesting to reflect back on yourself and go, why do I think about this? Why do I feel this? So I sometimes think this is what Shakespeare knew, that people would go out of his place discussing things as much as they would be entertained by it, very much the way that we do, because people are people. Anyway, that's my thought. That's my thought for today. Right, so let's get ourselves ready to go to our last scene. This is going to be a bit of mischief played out at the Boar's Head in Eastcheap by Prince Hal and his jolly good friend Edward Poins, commonly known as Ned. So what have we got going on here? Right, so Hal and Poins have just played a massive prank on John Falstaff and his cronies. We're not going to play that one today. We've done that in the past. It was a lot of fun. So what we now have is we have Poins and Prince Hal at the tavern waiting for the return of Falstaff and his crew, and they're entertaining themselves while they wait. What are they doing? Well, they're in a tavern, so I think there's alcohol involved. And we have their lively wits. They've just come from pulling a massive prank. So what do? They set up another one. So let's just see if we have, do we have a Hal and a Poins who are on first? Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay. And just to double check, we have everybody ready to, because we will need some other bodies as well in this one. Just checking everybody's there.
Ready.
Okay.
Ready.
Yeah, cool. Lovely. Right. So Hal and Poins, you are on first. And other players, please listen for your cues. And happy pranking, everyone. See you at the end.
Ned, prithee, come out of that fat room and lend me thy hand to laugh a little.
Where hast been, Hal?
With 3 or 4 loggerheads, amongst 3 or 4 score hogsheads. I have sounded the very bass string of humility. Sarah, I am sworn brother to a leash of drawers, and can call them by their names as Tom, Dick, and Francis. They take it already upon their confidence that though I be but Prince of Wales, yet I am the King of Courtesy, telling me flatly, I am no proud Jack like Falstaff, but a Corinthian, a lad of metal, a good boy. And when I am King of England, I shall command all the good lads in Eastcheap. They call drinking deep, dying scarlet. And when you breathe in your watering, then they cry hem and bid you play it off. To conclude, I am so good a proficient in 1/4 of an hour that I can drink with any tinker in his own language during my life. I tell thee, Ned, thou hast lost much honour that thou wert not with me at this action, but sweet Ned, to sweeten which name of Ned, I give thee this pennyworth of sugar, clapped even now into my hand by an underskinker, one that never spake other English in his life than 8 shillings and 6pence. And you are welcome with this shrill addition, and on, sir. Score a pint of bastard in the half moon. Or so. But Ned, to drive away time till Falstaff come, I prithee, do thou stand in some by-room while I question my puny drawer to what end he gave me the sugar, and do never leave calling Francis, that his tale to me may be nothing but anon. Step aside, and I'll show thee a precedent.
Francis!
Thou
No,
art
no, sir.
perfect.
Look down into the pomegranate rough.
Come hither, Francis.
My lord.
How long hast thou to serve, Francis?
Forsooth, 5 years and as much as 2.
Francis!
Anon, sir.
5 years. Belady a long lease for the clinking of pewter. But, Francis, darest thou be so valiant as to play the coward with thy indenture and show it a fair pair of heels and run from it?
Oh, Lord, sir, I've been sworn upon all the books in England. I could find it in my heart.
Francis!
Anon, sir.
How old art thou, Francis?
Let me see. Let me see about Michaelmas. Next, I shall be.
Francis!
None, sir. Pray you still a little, my lord.
Nay, but hark you, Francis, for the sugar thou gavest me, 'twas a pennyworth, was't not?
Oh look,
Right.
sir. It would had been 2.
I will
Francis?
give thee for
None.
it £1,000. Ask me when thou wilt, and thou shalt have it.
Francis!
My lord.
Francis?
Anon.
Anon, Francis? No, Francis, but tomorrow, Francis. Or
Francis.
Francis on Thursday, or indeed, Francis, when thou wilt. But Francis,
None.
My lord.
Francis!
wilt thou rob this leathern jerkin, crystal button, knot-pated agate ring, puke stocking, caddis garter, smooth tongue, Spanish pouch?
Oh look, sir. What do you mean?
Francis!
Why, then your
Anon.
brown bastard is your only drink. For look you, Francis, your white canvas doublet will sully. In Barbary, sir, it cannot come to so much.
What, sir?
Francis!
None.
Away, you rogue! Dost thou hear them call?
Francis!
None.
Francis!
None.
Francis!
None. Sir, none.
What, stand so still and hear such a calling?
Look to the guests within, my lord. Old Sir John with half a dozen more are at the door. Shall I let him in?
Let them alone a while, and then open the door. Point.
Yeah? As merry as crickets, my
Anon,
lord?
sir.
Sirrah, Falstaff and the rest of the thieves are at the door. Shall we be merry?
As merry as crickets, my lad. But hark ye, what cunning match have you made this jest of the drawer? Come, what's the issue?
I am now of all humours that have showed themselves humours since the old days of Goodman Adam to the pupil age of this present 12 o'clock at midnight. What's o'clock, Francis?
None, sir.
That ever this fellow should have fewer words than a parrot, and yet the son of a woman.
Naughty bad boys. No, that's very bad behavior, but thank you all. That's such a lot of fun. That scene has been an endless fascination and a frustration to us. If you wonder why, then drop by various things that I've written on the subject of repeated cues. And if you want to talk about it with me, then please get in touch or tweet us on @ShakeScenery. Repeated cues and the joys of playing from a cued part. It's a lot of fun. All right, can I have my players back on, please, to say thank you very much to all of you for working so hard and giving us a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. Isn't that fun? Because that is like so many plots, so many schemes. So, I mean, mostly good-hearted, maybe not entirely. Who knows? But again, that's human nature. Right. Thank you for ever so much. Thank you out there who have been watching us. We'll be back at 5 o'clock with more scenes and more actors. We'll be back in 2 weeks today on the 26th at 3 o'clock with the third part of King Henry VI as we finally get into the true joy that is the Wars of the Roses, the battles of York versus Lancaster. So please join us for that and various other little surprises we've got coming up. So until then, I say to you on the screen, have yourselves a very good couple of weeks. Take care of yourselves and each other. Same to you out there. Yeah, let's all get in, and things are going a little better, so let's keep it going. All right, everybody. So thank you very much. Valentina, who has been taking care of us online, please take us off the air. We will see you again next time. Farewell all. Thank you so much.